Hi, Nina. Happy that you got the email and managed to join. That's nice. All right, the recording is in process because today we're going to discuss and show you very important things. And I think, Nina, you had a question about email confirmation. We're going to go through this today. So I'm going to start by sharing the screen so we can take a look at some of the things. All right, we are in the company office. So this is my team that I created especially for testing and for showcasing things. Let's start from here. So if we click on the name of the team, we have a menu opening up. And here you can do a few things. So first of all, of course, you can see who the people in the team are, and you can click on their profiles in case you forgot what kind of value they bring to your team. Here, this is something that's important. You can add a link to, for example, a shared Google Drive that you created for your team, where you can store everything that you need for the quest. For example, if you start the quest, can I actually, Sasha, can you let someone in, right?
I did.
Good, because I cannot do this. Yeah. All right. So here let me start from the beginning. So if you have a team and you want to have a shared working space, then one of you, probably the team leader, has to create, for example, a shared folder on their Google Drive if they have a Gmail address, and put the link here. Click apply. It saves, and then I'm going to show you immediately where you can see this. So in your office, you have this documents folder, and this is where the link is going to be. Of course, it takes you to a separate page, but this is the shared folder that you can use for storing anything and everything. So the drafts of the documents, maybe some of the homework that you want the other team members to take a look at. You can store your quests here. And then when you submit the quests, all you have to do is just share the link to that document that you store in the shared drive. So this is to make it easier for you to cooperate and easier for us to receive quests and homework from you. All right, let's go back first to the menu here. So here you can also see the budget that you have of your team. As some of you have been asking, we have a separation in the game of the budget or the money or the wallets that you as an individual, as a person have. And that's that number that you can see when you see your avatar in the platform in the top right corner. There's a number of tokens there. So this is your personal piggy bank. That's your money. When you are in the game, when you are in the company, when you're in the office, the budget and the amount of tokens that you see there, they're not your personal money. This is the company money. That's why the numbers are different. So some people got confused why it's different. That's because it's absolutely different bank accounts. And here in the game, all you see is, of course, the company money. And down here, you see the history of transactions. So this is to show you who's been putting money into the company, for example. And you can, of course, transfer money from your personal accounts into the company account. So, for example, for me now, my personal account, I only have 49 tokens because I spent a lot. But for example, I would like to transfer 10 into the company. I just put 10 here, transfer, and immediately it appears that I added money here. And of course, it gets updated here as well. So for now, you cannot transfer money out of the company because you don't have a reason to do this at this moment. Getting money out of the company has to be with a reason. Otherwise, the legal coach will be very unhappy and he will come to you with an audit saying, hey, why are you taking money out of the company? That's legally called embezzlement. So the legal ways of getting money out of the company would be, for example, paying salaries. But that is not possible until you get to level 2. So on level 1, we decided not to complicate things. You cannot pay yourself salaries. Once you go to level 2, this will become active, and you will be able to put the amount of money that you want to pay each one of you and that will get transferred into your personal accounts. And of course, here in the history of operations, you will see a minus. This one is also not active at the moment. It's in case you want to let someone go. But for now, we are hoping that that's not going to happen until at least you reach level 2. Let's hope you play nicely together. And here, of course, you can change the description or even the name of the team in case you decided to do that, and that happens. You can write more. Okay, save. And yeah, I think also, if someone wants to join your team after you started playing, you will be able to see them here on the waiting list. And if there is someone here, then you can accept or deny them. There will be 2 buttons. And you can, of course, also click on their name to look at their profile. But there's a but here. People who join your company after you started playing, they are no longer your co-founders. They are your employees, which means that you do not sign a shareholders agreement with them. You sign an employment agreement. But that you will actually see, I think, yeah, when you start signing the shareholders agreement, you will see in the drop-down list several agreements that you have to choose from, and the employment is one of them. Unfortunately, I cannot show you that menu at the moment because I already signed the shareholders agreement with my account, and that menu is no longer active. But you will see it when you enter your office, and you will see that your game master is glowing. When you click on her, she will tell you that you need to sign the shareholders agreement. You will click on the button there, and it will take you to the menu where you have, in the drop-down menu, choose the agreement that you want to sign. You click on shareholders, and then the button create becomes active, and the document opens up, and you have to fill it in. After you did this, after you clicked on the create button, in order for you to find the shareholders agreement, you need to go to documents. So documents is the place where all of your important agreements are stored, as we saw, and also it has a link to the shared folder. So this is where everything is stored. In case an audit comes, you send them this way. So let's take a look at the shareholders agreement. Here, for me, it's already been signed by 2 people. That's why there is an open link. When the shareholders agreement is not signed yet, the button will say pending, but you can still click on the button to open it. So let's see how it looks. Well, this is an agreement. It's quite long. Yeah, don't get scared. You do not necessarily have to read and understand everything that says here, even though we advise you to get acquainted with the legalese, with the legal language. But now let's quickly go through the most important things. Sometimes I will explain, sometimes the legal coach will take over. So some of the things are already automatically filled in. For example, the system already knows that the agreement is between me and the other player. So this is already filled in. You do not have to fill that in. Things that you have to fill in, you will see them in this rectangular input thingies. I forgot. Boxes. Yes, not well. Yeah. So that, of course, would be the date, for example. Here I just put a random date because it doesn't matter. But of course, you put the date of when you sign the agreement. Then you are reading, and this is the part.
By the way, it's not the date that you sign the agreement, the date of incorporation, which probably will be the same in this case, but it is different.
Then what? Yeah, sorry for misinforming. Then it's the date that they basically started playing the game. Well, it doesn't matter, so you can put any date. Yeah, officially it's the date when you established your team, but yeah, put any date that you want within the limit since the game basically started, since the pilot started. All right, so starting from Article 3, this is where you have to fill in things. So maybe you can take over and explain.
Yeah, so here at 3.1, you tell how many shares you want to have. You always have to know that if you have a share value, So let's just say, so here we have just 1,000 shares. In practice, you would want to have more than 1,000 shares, because the bigger the amount of shares, the easier it is to divide them.
So what would be the advisable number then for them to put?
Depending a bit on the share capital, but I would say that if you go from 1 cent up and you want to put in 10,000 euro of value in the company, so you also have to pay that 10,000 euro, then it would be 1 million shares. So if you want to have a capital of 1,000, yeah, of course you have 100,000 shares. So as many as possible.
Yes. So the thing is that usually at the beginning of the game they don't have a lot of money. So here I'm only able to pay 50 tokens because I don't have any more. So if that is the case, what's the issued capital that they should put here? That,
like I said, they can do whatever they want. They just have to. For now, it's not that important because you're not going to dilute for many times. So it's more something to remember. I think 1,000 shares is fine here, and of course the nominal value of each share, I would put that as low as possible. So here it says 100. Yeah, I would go for 1.
Yeah. Okay. So the advice is in 3.1, 1,000 sounds like a reasonable amount of shares. And then in the next input, where you have to put a nominal value of FMS tokens, so that's basically a price per share, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, of course, do not put 100 here like me, because I was testing. Just put 1 token here per share, for example.
Yeah.
And then you have to write the same here in words. So you write 1 token because that's very important for legal contracts.
Yeah.
Then we go to the shareholders, and okay, for this one there are only 2, and of course, depending on how many founders you have in the team, you might end up having up to 10. Yeah, the maximum amount of people you can have in the team is 10. It's not advisable to have 10 startup players because then you will not be able to add mentors or investors. But I think for this pilot, that's not even going to be a problem. So then here, if there's 2 of us, then the math is quite simple. If we had 1,000 shares, then I think for these 2 people, it's nice if we share them half and half, but that doesn't have to be that way. If one of you is a team leader and she thinks that she brought a lot of value to this company because, for example, she brought her own idea, she maybe already has a pitch deck, so she kind of pre-validated things, and she thinks that she should have more than half. Then, of course, it's up for you to discuss. That's why at the end of the agreement, you can copy the link to this agreement if you are the leader of the team, and you can go to the chat with your team. There you share the link with them, and they all can take a look at the agreement, and you can negotiate, you can decide who's getting what. So this is a big part of signing any agreement, negotiation. So here, to make things easy, we just shared them half and half, and we both decided that we're gonna put 50 tokens from our own personal piggy bank into the company account.
Which is actually not okay what you did there.
Yes.
Because the 500 shares, you've put them in at a value of 50,000. So you went wrong there.
Yes, this was, of course, done for the purpose of the test.
Yeah.
I didn't think that we will be sharing this now, but I really wanted to, because a lot of you are going to be signing the share agreements today. So everyone who has questions regarding these numbers, because obviously I need the lesson myself, should ask a legal coach to help, so you can reach.
Yeah, but basically it's very simple. So if you have the 1,000 shares, we decided on that with 1 token per share, then the issued capital would be exactly the same as the number of shares, so 500 a person. I think that's okay to start with 500. Of course, you need to do some quests to actually make that money.
Yeah, 500 shares, but the issued capital, like I said, they don't have a lot of money in the beginning.
Yeah, then they have to make money.
No, they cannot make a lot of money if they want to start the game. And in order to start the game, they need to sign the shareholders agreement.
Well,
So
in essence, Yeah, you need to have that money in the beginning. That's true. But for the game, I don't.
No, that's the thing. Do not confuse them. That's the thing. We already put a little disclaimer here just now. It's not here now because we haven't updated the version yet. But you cannot, the system will not let you go further if you indicate a number here that's more than what you have in your personal piggy bank.
Then go for 100 shares and not 1,000 shares.
All right, so to reiterate, in 3.1, the company's issued capital, then it's advisable, while everyone is still poor, to put 100 shares at a price of one token per share. Then here you would have 50 shares each, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the issued capital would be 50 tokens. Of course, if you want different numbers, then you have to calculate here a bit. This is basically, I think, the most complicated part of this agreement, because all the other things are quite easy. Here you say how many hours a week you agree to work for the company in the first 3 years. This is just something for you to get accustomed to, so you can put any number that you want here. Here, once again, I think I put the wrong number, but I think we'll ask the legal coach to explain how 4.3 is actually linked to what we just did in 3.1. Because I'm not clear on that myself.
Yeah, basically it's a stock option. You can put in any number you want there, but yeah, like I said here in the back. So here's a good ratio would be 9 times the amount you choose in Article 3.1. So 3.1.
If here we have 100,
yeah,
then we put, where is it? Yeah, then
3.1.
Yeah, 3.1. Yep. So
yeah, so here. Yeah, so then you can do 900.
900. But what is that? What is an option? What is a stock option?
A stock option is you get the right to buy more shares, because shares there's issued capital and there is the capital of the whole. So when it's incorporated, like you can have 10 million shares, but you can say, okay, I have 10 million shares, but I will only give out 1,000 shares.
Yep.
So the rest of the shares are still in the company, so you can do something with that later on. So with the option, you can have an option to buy those shares, part of those shares, for a specific amount.
All right. Well, it's not very important for this pilot, so if you don't completely understand how these things work, it's all right. Those of you who are doing the investment role, and of course all the others can also do that, go to the investor playbook in Skill Lab and get acquainted with all the investment terms and investment procedures that startups have to go through.
I think the best thing would be to just Google slicing pie and why is this article there? Because then it will explain exactly why we are doing this. Because this is an optional thing, doesn't always, but it is basically meant to keep everyone on board and keep everyone invested in the company. But look it up and read about it.
Yeah. All right. Article 5, the board of the company consists of a maximum of X amount of directors. You can have maximum of 10 directors just because you can have maximum of 10 people in the company. But usually the number here, I think 2 sounds about right.
Yeah, more than 5 directors would be too much actually.
Maybe would an odd number be better here? Would the 3 be?
An odd number would be better,
yeah.
But if you have 2 shareholders, there's a simple thing in that because there are of course a lot of companies that have 2 co-founders. If they cannot agree and they both have 50%, usually they say, okay, if we can't get to an agreement, there's someone else that will decide for us.
Yeah, doesn't that mean that in 3.1, if I am the leader of the team, should I get a bit more than half to avoid those situations?
If you think of yourself as mean CEO, yes, of course. But if you see yourself as mean coach, no, because then it's your company. It's almost half yours, and you have no influence whatsoever.
Yeah, tough decision. All right. Okay, so the rest you just have to look through. There's nothing to fill in here. It's a long piece of paper.
And also there's always, so in articles, so let's see here. So the tag along, drag along, over here, the deadlock, all those things would be good just to get more of an understanding of this this agreement, to just Google those terms.
Yeah, but also what I want to do, I want to at some point have an AMA session just with you, where you will go through all the agreements with them. So all the explain the basic terms, because they kind of get repeated, right? From contract to contract, for example, non-compete or non-disclosure.
Yeah, but then it would be wise for people to actually say, okay, this is something I want to know more about, because I can easily talk for hours and hours, and I'm not even Timo. I can talk for hours and hours about a single agreement, and it will be very boring. So then please give me some input, because I also have to prepare that.
Yep, of course. All right, confidentiality, different notice changes. Yes, be careful that once all the parties sign the agreement, you cannot amend it anymore. Well, it's not possible from...
Not in the game.
Not in the game, because once it's done, it's done. We specifically made it so that no one can introduce any changes. So in case you noticed an error, well, doesn't really matter for the purpose of the game, but in general, yeah, be very careful reading and double checking all the agreements before the leader clicks the approve button. I think there will be at the top of the agreement, once it's still in the process of being negotiated and signed, there will be a button there that says agree or approve. I can't remember this moment, but after that button is clicked, then the shareholders agreement is not editable anymore. All right, so we are going to the part where you all have to sign it. And of course, yeah, you put the date here. I guess it's the date of...
that's signing date.
That's the signing date. Then you have to write your name, and you have to click this box, which is a substitution for a physical signature. And it says so here. So by clicking on the checkbox and entering your name here, you sign the document. Then the other party does the same thing. So they, you copy the link, you go to the chat, you share the document with them, because you're the one who has the document as the team leader. So they click on the link, they open it, and what they do is that they read everything that you filled in, and they fill in their part. So mean coach has to fill in the part that is here. And then she has to also sign the document by putting also the dates, by putting her name, and by clicking here. Then she can go to the chat and say to her team leader, hey, Min CEO, I think I've signed everything and looks good, so let's approve. So the Min CEO goes back to the contract to make sure that Min coach actually filled in correctly everything, because you never know. She's mean, so you never know, there might be something here. She cannot amend the things that you put for yourself, hopefully. Where is it? So like Min coach cannot amend what Min CEO put here, but she can of course put something wrong here in her input, and that will ruin the agreement. So it's the responsibility of the team leader to verify that everything is correct, and only after that, like I said, the button will be here that says that, hey, we're signing the agreement, it's not going to be editable anymore, done. And then this agreement will appear, like I said, in the documents, and you will be able to see it here. It will always be here for you in case you have some sort of a dispute and you want to involve the legal coach, and then you have to, of course, share that agreement with them by sharing the link, and he will take a look at how you filled everything in. And you, of course, welcome to share the link with him before you filled it in. I have to verify that it's possible. I think it should be possible, in case you want him to take a look at the document and maybe give you some advice.
So signing the shareholders agreement, all team players agree that to become shareholders and indicate how much they own money they agree to put to shareholder budget fund.
Yes. So when you establish a company, both in real world and in the game, everyone who wants to become a shareholder has to put some money into the company, and that's called the shareholder capital, right? The money that they put into the company, that's called the shareholder capital.
Issued capital.
Issued capital, yeah, that's called issued capital. Yes, it can be as little as 1 token, right? So and there is no correlation between the amount of tokens that you put personally and the amount of shares that you get. There can be a correlation, I guess, but it doesn't have to be, at least not within the game.
Well, it's not really that important. So even a company with issued capital of just €1 can become a very big company. The only thing is that if the share capital is extremely low, then yeah, it's considered to be a less stable company. So if you have a big company, you want for people to do business with you, that they see that you have a big issued capital, because that capital should stay there in the company to do business. Whereas all the other capital, so the combined profits, if you reserve them, you can spend whenever you want.
All right. Sasha, are there any more questions there? Because we do not see them. If you can read them out. Nothing?
No, there are no questions.
All right. Then I propose we go through other parts of the
platform. I can see the raising hand from Vicky.
All right. Yeah, Vicky, go ahead. Can you?
I wanted to make sure that I understand correctly so that money cannot be spent by the team, just the ones that we put in later.
Yes, so the money that you put as an issued capital, that has to stay in the company. You cannot take it out. This is.
But you can spend it though.
You can spend it.
You can.
All right. So it means if they need to pay salaries to each other, then they can.
You cannot. So let's say, so you have a capital of €1 and €900,000 of reserves. Then you can give all that money to the shareholders at any given time. Whereas if you have 900,000 of issued capital and €1 of general reserves, you can only give out that €1 to the shareholders. So if you spend it, that's okay, but then from spending, there's something else. So you buy something for the company, so that will also add to the value of the company. So in that way, it's perceived differently.
Yes, well, anyway, for the purpose of the game, until level 2, you cannot transfer money out of the company. So look at it as staking. So that's why don't put everything that you have in your personal piggy bank into the company, because you might need money for yourself to do something else. Maybe you want to buy a nice purse for your avatar, yeah, in the swag shop. So we want you to have a bit of fun here as well. But in general, yes, after level 2, you will be able to pay money out of the company into the personal accounts. And you just have to make sure that you have enough money left in the company to pay rent, and so that the company doesn't go bankrupt. Other than that, I don't think there is a limitation technically in the game with respect to getting money out of the company. Like I mentioned yesterday, the limitation is only legal. So if you, as a team, continue draining all the company balance into your personal accounts without any explanation, then yeah, legal coach might have a few questions. If you spend that money because you're paying salaries to the people, then that's a perfectly legal explanation, and that's fine. Or you want to, I don't know, to reimburse someone, maybe some gamerpreneur helped you with something as a third party, and you want to thank them for that, you might want to transfer some money to them. But once again, be ready to have an explanation as to why you did that. So always get ready to have paper trail. That's very important. Everything that you do, make sure that you have that in writing, not necessarily for the game, but for the real life, right? If you hire someone to do something for you, make sure that you at least have some conversation in the chat with them where it's explained what it is that they're doing and how much you're agreeing to pay them. So that's paper trail for you. I hope that answered your question, Vicky.
Yes, thank you.
All right, shall we go a bit further than that? I want to show you a few other things. So I think I explained, yeah, in the game, if some icon wants to tell you something, it's gonna glow. So the one that is glowing now is quests, because I probably have to go through the quest. Yes, I have a quest here open that I need to finish. And the distinction between the team leader and all the other startups in the game is that the team leader is the one who can click on the finish button to submit the documents. So while everyone in the team is doing the quest, you have your document in the shared folder so that anyone can have access to that. And then it's the team leader that has to get the link of the pitch, click on the upload result. There you can input the link, and then you as a team leader have to ask your team how they found the quest. This is something that's very important for us. We would like to know if the quest was too easy for you, it was too hard, or it was just all right. So it would be great if you could click on that, because if you don't click, then the finish button is not going to light up and you cannot finish. So we kind of did the mean thing here, because we really need your feedback. So the team leader presses the finish button. Yeah, I cannot do it now because I haven't actually done the quest. But what happens after is that one of the game masters gets the alert that there is a quest that needs to be checked and verified. We verify it, and as soon as we approve it, you get a notification, and you also get the money in your company Piggy Bank, and you can celebrate a bit. Let's see what we have here. So if you want to get out of the game and back into the real world, into the platform, then you have to go through here, through the map at the bottom right corner. You click there and you end up on the map in the FMS village. And from here, you can go wherever you want. So you can go to the marketplace, you can go to the lounge, you can go to the skill lab, or you can go check out your personal piggy bank. So maybe we can start from the lounge. I'm going to show you a bit what we have here. Yeah, for those of you who haven't seen the video, it's here. It's not the best that we can have here, but we kind of had to do something very quickly, and it does the job. It shows how the platform is organized, so please take a look at it. A lot of things will become clearer. Then you have a dashboard here that shows what level you are in the game. So I'm on level 1 now. It shows how much money there is in the, I think this is the company account.
No,
it's not. It's my personal account.
Yep.
Okay, yes, right. Yeah, exactly. This is my personal part. So this is the money that I have in my personal account. And this is my personal progress in Skill Lab. I unfortunately haven't finished a single module, whereas I have 31 of them in progress.
yeah, you started another finisher.
Yes, I'm a starter, not a finisher. I'm also a tester, so I need to test things. So here we have the latest news, and in case you ever lose the links to the meetings, or you forget when the meetings are going to be, click on any of those news. There's always a schedule here that will tell you when the next meeting is. You click on that meeting and the link will be there. It directly takes you to Google Meet. And also, if you want to watch the recording, then it's also in the same schedule. You just go there, and all the meetings that already passed, they have recordings attached to them. So usually it takes us around 1 day to attach the recording. So the one from last night is going to be there within the next couple of hours. The one from today, hopefully will upload by tonight. So usually you can go 24 hours later and you will find it there. The Hall of Fame, something that's not important until the end of the pilot, but of course it's something for you to keep in mind that at the end there will be an award ceremony where we will choose the best learner, so the person who is a big fan of Skill Lab and unlike me actually finishes stuff. We'll also have the best diamond. That's the person who cannot shut up but and talk about us on social media, kind of our ambassador. We're going to have the best mentor and the best investor, and the group award is the best team, so that's the team that manages to win the game. And winning the game in this pilot is getting to level 3, and they still have some money left in their account. There are also some gifts that you can take a look at that we will be giving out to some of the best users at the end of the game. And yeah, some of the software companies that we work with, a lot of them are giving discounts and free usage of their software to you. And we will make sure that that information already is stored somewhere. I'm going to show it to you now. Yeah, exactly by going to Skill Lab. Here you have FMS Wiki, by clicking on which there are all the important documents that you need to be aware of. The first one is the complete FMS Wiki with all the tutorials. That also contains the schedules. So we made sure that the schedules are put in several places so you can find them everywhere. Here you can also read about the roles, in case you don't understand still how the roles in the game are interconnected. Yeah, the welcome session, the first one, is also here just in case someone wants to watch it. Some of the skills that every entrepreneur must have, that's also a nice overview, and you can refer to this file when you think about what kind of skills your team is lacking and what it needs. Here in the digital tools for startups, you can read about all the software that we're using in the pilot, and you will see if the software company is given a discount or a free usage of their software. There will be a phrase there that says, claim your free software, claim your discount. There's also a glossary here in case you are not familiar with some of the startup terms, so you can take a look at that. We're constantly updating it as well. The next file is where you can read up a bit about who the game masters are and who the coaches are. This week we will start announcing them also on social media because they will be giving workshops. Those workshops are also indicated in the schedule. And some startup tests if you want to take. This is just for fun. And very important, the legal mumbo jumbo. So that's an intro presentation done by legal coach where he explains in simple terms what shareholders agreement, what NDA is, and so on and so forth. So do read up about this because a lot of things will become clearer to you. All right, so if we go back to Skill Lab, then this is basically where all the educational stuff is. Skill Lab is not complicated. It's not much new here. It's an online education module where you this is the explanation of what the module is about. You can watch a bit of the video. Usually I pre-selected some of the TED Talks that I think are very important for female entrepreneurs, and you should definitely, if you have some time, watch them. Then you have the educational files themselves. It depends on the module. Sometimes there is 1, sometimes there is 5. It depends on how big the module is, and all of them end with homework. And this is the part that I would like you to pay attention to, because that's the part where a lot of people get confused, seeing as there are 2 options to submit homework, as you will be able to see it here. So if you just want to do the traditional way, you've done homework, then you can send the link here, or you can upload a file, and you click on I'll be lucky. In this way, the game master gets the submitted homework, and if she thinks that you've done a good job, she's gonna make you pass the module, and you're gonna get your 100 tokens. If she doesn't like something, she thinks that you haven't done a good enough job, then she's gonna deny your homework, and you have 2 more attempts to submit it. Beware that for each attempt, we deduct 25 tokens. So you will not get 100 tokens anymore. If you pass on the second attempt, you will only get 75. To avoid this, it's advisable to use the first option, which is the ask for feedback, where you do exactly the same. So you prepare your homework, and then you upload the link or you upload the file, and then you click on the ask for feedback button. In that case, the game master, the game mistress also receives your homework, but she doesn't grade it. She just gives you the feedback, or maybe she answers the questions that you also indicate there in the homework. Maybe you're stuck with something and you need her advice. So this is a bit of the go back and forth before you officially submit your homework. This, of course, makes the process a bit longer because there might be a few back and damn it, I'm forgetting the words again. There might be a bit of the conversation with the game mistress, and that takes time. But on the other hand, you increase your chances of getting the complete 100 tokens because you will be able to pass that on the first attempt, just because the game mistress made sure that you've done a good job. So that's totally up to you. But we think that this is a very important distinction from how traditional education is behaving, where we are anywhere, right, starting from school and to work as well. We are not given a chance to improve in many cases. We are just given a deadline, and we have to submit homework, report, whatever, and then it's pass or fail, or it's a mark. And basically, even if we get feedback after that, it's impossible to use that feedback to improve the work that we've submitted because it's already been submitted. So we strongly believe in preventive feedback, or feed forward, you might call it as well, where the feedback that you receive, you integrate the changes into the homework, into the report, and then you submit it. So I hope the distinction is clear, and I hope you understand the value of that. If you have questions, I don't know, Sasha, if there are any questions somewhere, please let me know if someone's raising their hand.
There is a question from Nina. Is there a time frame in which it must be completed?
No, I think someone already asked a question somewhere. No, there is no time frame. In Skill Lab modules, you do it at your own speed. But something that I need to note is that in the quests, so after you go through the 2 pitch quests, which are obligatory and the rules for them are slightly different, then you will have a selection of quests. And those quests will have a certain Skill Lab module linked to them. What that means is that, for example, let's take a simple quest of creating your landing page. The award for that quest is 100 tokens. But it also says in the quest that quest is linked to a Skill Lab module. For example, that will probably be this one. So the quest to create a landing page will be linked to the Build Your Audience landing page Skill Lab module. And that means, as I explained yesterday, I think as well, if one of the team members takes that linked module and passes it so that homework gets accepted, then as a team, if you win that quest, you will not get 100 tokens as the reward for it, but 200. So from that point of view, there is a bit of a deadline, which means that you have to finish that linked module before you submit the quest. But if you do the Skill Lab as an individual, not as part of the team, then there are no deadlines at all. I hope I made it clear and not more complicated, Nina.
I can see the raising hand from Nina.
All right, yep. Can you turn on your microphone and ask us? What's happening, because I do not see the screen. I don't know, Nina, if you...
The microphone is on, but I cannot hear anything.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Nina.
No sound.
Yeah, if possible, maybe write the question in the chat if there's a problem with the microphone.
Still no sound.
All right, I would propose we go on. Just write your question in the chat, and Sasha, when Nina does so, you let me know, and then I can answer it. All right? I take it as a yes. Something else that I wanted to show you in the map is how to see who is actually on the platform. So there is this button here that's called population. You click on the population, and everyone who is here should be displayed. You can also search. So for example, if you are, as a team, searching for a mentor, you want to see everyone who is a mentor on the platform, then you write mentor, and it will be sorted, and you will see, okay, interesting. So all these people are mentors. You can click on them to see their profiles and then chat with them. Someone also asked yesterday if it's possible to see if the person is already occupied, if they're already in the team. Yes, that's possible. So if you see the name and then it says user teams, and that means that I am in a team. So it's useless to try to approach me to get me into your team because I'm already occupied. If there is no indication of the team, then that means that that person currently doesn't have the team. You see, like legal tech nerd, that's actually our legal coach. So he is currently unoccupied, free.
Well.
Free. Super Sarah, for example, she is in a team, so you cannot get her. So I think that makes it a lot easier to look for people who can join your team, because of course we see that from more than 20 teams that we currently have established, there's still half where there's only the team leader and they're looking for startups to join. So this would be a good place to start. Start reaching out to everyone, trying to talk to them, try to tell them, hey, my company does that and that. I would like to invite you. Let's chat. So this is called, proactive team building. And also for the teams that are still looking, we are happy to advertise you guys on Instagram. Just reach out and say, hey, I am a team leader of company X and I'm looking for people. I already tried to reach out to them through the platform, but so far I haven't found anyone. Please help me. And we will then make put you in the stories and say, hey, please reach out to this company, like we did yesterday with one of the teams. All right. What else we have here? You can read the legend of the game in case you forgot it, but it's also accessible through the game. Here we have the link to FAQ, and FAQ is also the FMS wiki. So we made sure that we put access to that in many places so you guys can find it wherever. Instructions how to use the map, but I think that's quite self-explanatory. Let's go. So we've been to the lounge, we've been to the startup tower. This is where the game happens. We've been to Skill Lab. Let's quickly take a look at your Piggy Bank, also called your wallet. Yeah, I'm not very rich at the moment. I only have 39 tokens. And this is where you can see how I spent my tokens, in case you forgot, like, hey, what the hell, where's my money? You can see that, yeah, actually,
Bank statement.
Yes, your bank statement. I actually transferred 10 tokens to my company, as you saw in the beginning of this talk. So it's displayed here. Of course, when money gets into my account, you will also see it here. And this is a bit to help you to make more money. There are several methods. You can help us boost the community, which means that you can either use our media kit, which is the templates that we prepared, that you can share. Some of them are already ready. You can just save them and share them. Others are for you to play around with. You can, in Canva, you can edit them and add your name or whatever. You share them on your social media. Please use the hashtag entrepreneurship. Tag us as well, so we know that you shared it, so we can also reshare it. And upload either the screenshot or the link to your post, because sometimes some social media doesn't allow sending the link, so you can do the screenshot. You can do either or. Click send, and once we receive it, we will take a look at it, and if we're happy, which means that if it's really a post about us, not something else, then you're going to get 5 tokens per post, and that you can do as many times as you can. This is a way for you to earn a bit of money in case you really, really have nothing in your wallet and you absolutely want to have a meeting with someone like a legal coach or whatever, so you need to make a bit of money quickly.
Well, you see that bag and you really, really wanted it.
I'm going to show them the marketplace a bit later, yes. Sell your skills. So this is a way for you to create something that you can sell on the marketplace, and if other people buy it, then you make some money. We're going to take a look at the marketplace in a minute. Share your 3D avatar. I think we're not going to touch this here for now because we first need to explain what the 3D avatar is. I'm probably going to do it next week because for now there are more important things to discuss, like getting you in the game. You can also create content for us, and that of course has to be talked about with Big Sister. So yesterday in the meeting there were questions about that. Some ladies wanted to create something, for example, about using Facebook, because we do not have any information about Facebook in Skill Lab. So I said, that's perfect. You can create something for us. It's going to be put in the marketplace, and we're also going to award you for creating content. There is also a possibility to provide feedback, which is also as the BARG report, and a lot of you have already used it. We're very thankful for that, because of course, as hard as we tried to fix everything before the start, it was a lot of work with not enough people, and of course we missed a few things. So we're very thankful, sorry, to you for being so helpful, and we also of course reward people for doing this with tokens. And there's also a wild card, which is a way for you to say, hey, your money-making methods kind of suck or not enough. We want something else. Why don't we do that and that? So you ask the Big Sister, and if she thinks that you're a genius and your idea is wonderful, then we will implement this. So it's going to help other gamepreneurs, and you're also going to be awarded for that as well. All right. Sasha, still no. Is there a question in the chat or nothing, or can I go on?
Nothing new.
All right, okay. Then the last place that we want to visit is the marketplace, the shopping spree. For now, we have only 3 shops here. It's not a very small, not a very big shopping mall. In 2 of them, in Skill Shop and Book Shop, anyone can create and buy things. So Swag Shop is the only shop where only we can create stuff and you can buy it. So maybe we can start from it. Here you can, make sure that your avatar looks cool, and you can buy some of the accessories for her. For example, I really, really, really love those. Shall I try to buy them?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if you really want to buy. Yes, I really want to buy them. Okay. Let's hope that works. Okay, clothes still has to be changed to wardrobe here. Let me take a screenshot immediately. So you see, I'm doing all the proof. I can spank someone again. Yes, that's what I do. So we're gonna go to the wardrobe. And you see, this is something that you saw when you were onboarding. So if everything went correctly, then at the part where there are shoes, yay, my shoes appear because I bought them. And now I can, oh, that's so cute. So cute. I love it. So, and then we click save. Yes, sometimes it takes a bit, especially with all the visual wardrobe things. Bubble is not the quickest machine. Yes, it did it. And as you can see here, I have my fluffy bunny shoes. Just to explain a bit, the avatar that you see at the top, yeah, here it's only the face, so no one sees your shoes unless they come to your profile. But in connection to that 3D avatar that I said we're not going to discuss now, we're going to discuss later, there everyone will be able to see the full body, so you can definitely show off those bunny feet. Well, while we are here, I almost forgot. I think Nina, you asked the question or someone asked that question, how to confirm your email, how to edit things. So when we are in our profile, we can edit a lot of things that we want here. I'm actually already in the edit mode. I don't know why. Let me go back here. So in your personal profile, as you can see, I haven't confirmed my email address either, which honestly is not important. There is nothing at this moment that you cannot do because your email address has not been confirmed. So it's only a bit of the annoying thing here, but I will show you how to do that anyway. So you can click on the edit, and you will have 7 pages of information that you can edit. So anything starting from your name to your nickname to adding education to fixing why I am awesome stuff is editable. Just make sure that you save changes as quickly as possible, because developers sometimes need to be spanked, and they sometimes upload the changes, so they deploy new changes onto the live platform. We had a talk with them. They're only allowed to do this once a day now, but just to be sure, make sure you click on the save changes to avoid loss of information. Page 2, you can add your social media or change it here. You can add skills. Also, make sure you click on save changes. You can upload a video presentation here. So if you have something that already on YouTube, or you want to upload something new on YouTube, then you come here and you put the ID of the YouTube video that you have. Click on save changes, add the description if you want, and it will appear in your profile.
We have a question from Nina.
Sure.
My profile states I do not have a roadmap, but I had submitted one when building my team. I'm hoping that input was not lost.
Yes, if our developers actually did that horrible thing that they did yesterday to some people, then unfortunately I think it is lost. Because if you were writing something, you haven't clicked save changes before the page was uploaded, then I'm very sorry, but it must be lost. So I hope you can rewrite it. And in order to say how sorry we are, I am going to spank the developers, and I'm happy to give you a few extra tokens for your work. Just send me a message to make sure that I remember that I know your nickname. But yeah, that's something that happens when developers forget that they have actual users, because they're so used to working in the development mode. Then of course they didn't take that into account. Yeah, very sorry for that. But we're gonna avoid this as much as possible. Page 6 is where you can add any media resources that you want. That's basically for us to confirm if you have the qualifications that you need. That's not very important for this pilot. The idea, as I also explained yesterday, is a bit further when you get your live certificate. If you want us to verify some of the skills that you have, that you earned outside of the platform, then the nicest way, of course, would be for you to upload the certificate. We take a look at it, and we verify it on the live certificate that we issue you. We do not share your documents with anyone. This is only for internal use, for us to verify and basically get deleted after that is done. And you get a couple of tokens for that as well. And this is something that's called privacy settings. That's also important to explain. You have 2 versions of your profile. Like, I think you are used to this in social media as well. You have a public profile that you can share with users even outside of the platform, not only the people inside the platform, and your private profile. So the private profile can contain more information than the public one. If you want people not to see the skills that you have, then you do so. If you don't want them to see the certificates, then you also remove that. If you don't want them to see the roadmap, then you also hide it. But if you do want them to see the roadmap, then of course you click on the visible, that becomes visible. And then you save the changes and you go back to your profile. As you can see, my video is here, and I do not have the roadmap yet. I do not have a lot of things yet, but this is my private profile. That's why it's okay that I see this, at least I know what it is that I have. If you want to share the profile with someone, if you want to share it on your LinkedIn, for example, you of course click on the on the button here. Your link is already copied to your clipboard, and you can click on the preview button to see how other people will see your profile. I think that's pretty much it here. Let's go back to the market because we stopped. Yeah, the legal coach has to go now. We're going to let him go, and we're going to finish in 5 minutes because it's already more than an hour. Yes. So 2 of the shops that there are in the marketplace, you can create any card here. And I see that there's a lot of people that already have created stuff. We have a lot of things here. I think there's nothing in the bookshop yet. Let's maybe create a book card for you to show how this works. So for example, the skill that I want to sell will be, I don't know, each deck writing 101. I choose the category. Not sure if there is, presentation, for example. And I describe the skill. I describe the skill in detail, or the content of the presentation. So here I can write, hey, this is a 20-page presentation on how to create pitch decks step by step. By going through it, you will be able to not only design, but to create a text for your first idea. Here I put the link to the file, to the actual presentation, or the preview. This actually, I have to verify if we should put the actual link here. It probably has to be the preview. Let me write this down to make sure that people do not get access to your paid material before they pay. Very important. Here you put the price, and the price you set yourself, depending on how much you think it's worth. Usually, as you can see, so for a bug report, you receive 50 tokens. For Quest or in Skill Lab, it's 100. So make sure you don't put the price that is a lot higher than that, because people will not find that the price benefit is sufficient. Then you click on save. I'm not going to do this now because I really don't want to have a pitch deck writing presentation that I need to write. But once it's done, you click on it and you will see it, of course, here. And in the skill shop, it's the same. You can, hey, for example, I want this, I want to read more. Costs 50. Unfortunately, I cannot afford it now because I don't have enough money. But if I could, then I would click on buy, and I would be able to start chatting with the owner of that card to discuss when and how we meet for the services that she is providing. After I bought the card, after I've had a meeting with the person, then I can give her a review from 1 to 4 stars, and I can also write a comment if I liked her presentation, if I liked her, if she was helpful. That is good for the person who's selling the cards. That helps them build credibility, of course. If you've created cards and you want to see them all, you can click View My Cards. And as you can see, I have created 1 card for now. And that's a session with me to discuss anything. For now, it's 50 tokens. I think I will actually decrease the price because I want more people to use it. So I'm going to edit it. And I'm going to put the price of 10 tokens. Okay, sale. The card is added. And yeah, it's somewhere here, but I can also view it in my cards. I will see that that it's here. And here I can see the cards that I purchased, which I don't think I have bought any. No, haven't bought any, but if I did, they would all be displayed here. I think I'm going to stop here unless someone else wants to know. Oh, I just realized that I haven't actually showed you how to confirm your email. I'm sorry. Yes, that's a good question because I'm not sure that something didn't go wrong here. No, there is. Wait. Yeah, it's not here. Sorry. No wonder you didn't find it, because even I have problem finding it. It should be in settings. If you click on settings, that's where. Let me actually take a screenshot of that so I can share it on Instagram as well. So here it says it's unconfirmed. So what I do is that I put my email address here, which automatically should be here, and I click on send email again. And let's actually verify that that works. Wait, maybe I do have to. Oh, it's already here. Yeah, cancel. I'm gonna double check and make sure that that works, because that was reported as a bug. So probably that's what people meant, that it's not coming. Let me check my email just to make sure. Yeah, all right. This is a bug. I will make sure that that happens, but it did work 2 days ago. So something went wrong, of course, as usual. But here you can verify that. But if it doesn't work, like I said, do not worry about it. That's not important. But if you do want to change your password, then you can also do this here. You will also get an email with which you will reset the password. But this we're going to make sure works, and we will deploy it probably tomorrow morning, because we want to avoid, like I said, deploying versions too often, so that people do not lose their data. So unfortunately, then we have to wait for all the bugs to be deployed. I could not do them immediately. All right, I think I'm going to stop with the sharing here. Yeah, I think I tried to cover as much as possible. I hope you have a clearer understanding. Now, I don't know if there are many questions. Yeah, unfortunately, that's our mistake. We should have, of course, warned everyone, and the developers are actually going to introduce a flag. They're working on the flag that will say, if by emergency we need to deploy the live version, there will be a flag that will say, hey, you have 5 minutes until we do it, so please save everything now. So you click on the nearest save button to avoid any loss of data. But let's look on the bright side. Take it as a learning by doing. You learned by doing that you should save your data before you do that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, Stefani, I'm sure there will be more questions, and I'm very glad that we're having these sessions, because then I also get to go through the same journey with you and see what things are clear, what things need to be slightly more user-friendly, what things don't work, because unfortunately that happens. Something that worked yesterday somehow stops working tomorrow. We need to fix it again. But that's the idea of the piloting. And Nina, I think you also wrote that you wanted someone to take a look at your roadmap. So if you want, maybe we can have a session together with you and me, and we'll just co-write your roadmap together if you don't feel like rewriting it yourself. So I'm happy to help you out with that if I can. Yay! So good. You're great. Yes, you have a draft. Yes, that's perfect. This is a good skill for a startup to have, because as we explained yesterday as well, it also happens when you try to submit grant applications. So we actually didn't get one of the grants because the system that went slightly wrong. We thought that we submitted everything. It turned out, due to the fact that we were co-creating with someone else using the platform at the same time, the platform didn't like that, and it didn't save the latest version of my latest version, but it saved the latest version of the other team member, and that one was not the right one. So also learned the hard way. All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, then I'm gonna stop the recording.